Hi, it's Miles at Songbird. Did I tell you there's, in New York City, did I tell you there's no such thing as a coincidence? You know, that's helpful to know, for me to know when I am putting things in context. Okay. Here we go. First century, Judas was mad because Jesus Christ's wife loved only Christ. So he betrayed Christ, hoping when he was dead in the head, Mary would pay attention to him, to Judas. All that Mary did was grieve after Christ's death, was grieve and wait to see justice for Jesus Christ. 20th century, little Stevie Wonder, Judas wanting to see more than anything in the world. He was born blind, a Nazi, like he had been a Nazi Hitler. So he wanted to see more than anything else, so he took Mary's ability to see. So she couldn't see evil as being terribly evil. First, Judas took Mary's husband, Jesus Christ, and secondly, Judas took Mary's eyesight. My mother used to say, I hate a thief. My feelings were, I hated a liar, which was a problem because my mother was a liar. She told me, and I asked her once, I said, is my father white? And she said, no, your father's who I said he was. So I believed her, because she was my God, or at least I figured God had put her in charge of me, And it's true, mothers are your guardian angels. So, one time we went to church, to St. John Baptist Church together, and my mother looked at me and a tear was coming down her cheek. And she looked at me and into my eyes, and I wondered what she was trying to tell me. So one day it dawned on me what she was saying, because Gurinder Singh told me that my father was Daniel in the lion's den, Dr. Reverend Wilbur Daniel. And so my mother was saying to me that day, because we were in his church, this is your father, and this is as much as I can tell you that he's your father, because I don't want to admit that I slept with the preacher, that I slept with the god of the town. But she was the goddess of the town because she was the most beautiful woman ever to live in Clarksville, according to Dr. Joseph Roberts and Mr. Gray, who was the manager of the projects. And she was smart. I knew she was smart because she earned a valedictorian before the schools were dumbed down. When Mr. Allison, the principal, used to say, you cannot be as good as a white man, you have to be better. And he had those students studying, and he had those teachers teaching. So she so there she was, beautiful and smart, the goddess of the town, hooked up with the god of the town. So he integrated the Graduate School of North Carolina, of Austin Peay State University, there in Clarksville. My mother had wanted to go to college because she was so smart, but she couldn't go because the college was segregated. And Dun and Brother Wright wouldn't mortgage their house again to send her to A&I State University in Nashville, because they had mortgaged their house to send the boy they had raised, Alan Wright, to A&I State University. And in the second year, he ran off to Chicago with a girl he fell in love with. And they still had the mortgage to pay, so they didn't want to get burned twice. So my mother wound up working in a laundry for 2.5 cents a shirt. And later she got a better job in the cleaners for $40 a week. So there. Okay. So Judas I had some point I wanted to make about Steve. I was in his house once, and Edward and I were visiting, and I told him I saw Roberta Flack on television saying she wanted a master. So I sent her a book, Science of the Soul, which Sing Birdsong wrote when he was Jagat Singh. And I never heard back from her, so Steve said, it was just part of the act. So I said, that's a very ghetto attitude to myself, surprised, because he was always so high-minded, because he was being Eve's energy. And then when I said that, she never got back to me on that. He went to the ghetto energy, his own energy. So, okay, let's see what I have here. This is what happens when justice prevails. Eve's energy, eyes, yes, grows to the level of God's daughter, where it was at the start. She the art. I swear, her, that's her part. So her part is to be the art of enjoyment. It's E for enjoyment. Stevie Wonder enters act. Heart. Stevie Wonder, that's her part. Present. The Stevie Wonder took my energy. He wanted to know what it felt like to see. Well, I kid energy. She. I key. Okay, the Mild Red entered. Restart? What is that? E-T-A-R-D. Oh, retard. Mild Red entered. Retarded. Ghetto. Guy cry. I can see. Answer. Nature secrets. One. Energy. Her. Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder. One. Her energy. Secretly. Steve V. He went so much further than her because he stole the DNA of the daughter of the sun in the sky. He had been Hitler in days gone by. Judas was the name. And shame he owned. He won. He now passed on to me, and my daughter Robin belongs to my energy in Stevie Wonder. I am Saint Eve I energy. Wonder. He W1 INGOUGS N DOUGH Indulge to her daughter of the sun. Window. That's what the window. Okay, so he has the eye of the daughter of the sun. Where there's hope for everyone. Moving on. Moving on. There's a place in the sun where there's hope for everyone. See there? It's in my energy trying singing about it. Oh my goodness. Robin Birdsong looks like Stevie Wonder because he took the power shower. Some he owe her. Stevie Wonder won. That's what I was going to tell you about Steve. It's got something to do with P. Because when I was an airline stewardess, one day Stevie Wonder comes on my airplane. He jumps on into the first class and tells me to show him the way to the toilet. So I did. I said, "Did you need me to come in and help you?" And he said, "No, I got this." However he said it, we didn't talk like that at that time. And then once I was at Gary Bird and Shatima's apartment in Left Rack City, and Steve came, and I was showering because our electricity had been turned off. Edwin Birdsong was my husband at the time, and he hadn't made any money. And so somebody said, "Steve needs to go to the bathroom." So I said, "He can come in, I won't peek, you know." So he came in and peed, and I did not peek. I didn't give a damn enough to peek, you know. And so that's what I'm saying. It's got something to do with pee, you know. I don't know. And once I went in the bathroom, and there was Edward, my husband, sniffing my panties. So I know when I come, I pee a little. And why do they want to be? What does pee got to do with anything? Pee, urine, urine. You have pleasure in energy. So they get pleasure. They pick up on my energy through pee. Somehow. Okay. So Stevie Wonder wanted desperately, passionately to be able to see. She, Eve, that's me, talk and share, therapy, created by Creator and me, Charan Singh, wanted to know what it felt like to be blind, like Elder Burton, the blind pastor of our church. I was 5 or 9 years old. I wasn't 9. I was 5 years old. Years old. Stevie Wonder. Bold. Stole. Cold. My eyesight, for me, this automatic writing is telling me family, friend, sense, what it is. North Carolina, enmity. CI, North Carolina, enmity. He don't have to look at what Judas, Nero, Hitler did. When, you see, the doctor told him that he could probably fix his eyesight. And he said, "Oh, no, that's all right. I don't want to change anything." So he doesn't want to change anything because he doesn't want to give up my energy and get his own ghetto energy. I was like, the energy of the cursed. That's what he had. When he kicked me on my business, mainstreaming, clues to the marginalized, apart, the Red Sea, mild red, can let go of the whole story unconsciously. Mary, the wife of Jesus Christ, has been wronged again. First, he's Stevie Wonder, Hitler's Judas, friend Edwin Birdsong. girl, his wife, empath energy. Hey, Stevie Wonder, I feel. You know, this is something that just occurred to me. I remember when I lost my mind, that's what Owen Benjamin says. You know how they got that in my head. But when I was married to Edwin, we worked very hard to create an album of music. I had been Beethoven, he had been Bach, and Irving Berlin. He had been. And I had been a lyricist, Ira Gershwin, Oscar Hammerstein Jr., the lyricist for Richard Rodgers. So we certainly were qualified to do this masterpiece album that we did called What It Is. But after the album came out and Stevie, with my energy, took Edwin from me and the family, I started not liking being married to him. And I was bored because he wasn't giving me attention, you know. And I asked God to take him from me. So this girl shows up, a black Muslim girl, and gets pregnant by him. And that destroys the marriage. Okay, well, what happens is you have a fleeting moment. One time you think something, but you mean it. And nature runs with it. Because I forgot that I asked God to take him to end the marriage. Because, you know, I didn't really think it through. What am I going to do if our marriage breaks up? This is my dream. You know, to be able to have a happy family and have money to support them and so they can have the good life. So, but nature ran with it, you know. I didn't want him, and this girl did want him. So the marriage. So when he had the baby by the girl, I said, well, you have to give her up. And he said, no, I can't do that. She's my manager. And so I said, well, I don't do threesomes. You know, she was a black Muslim. She didn't have a problem with doing threesomes. You know, and it's funny because now I'm married to Gurinder Singh, and he actually has another wife. So there I am doing a threesome. But it depends on the quality of the man. You know, Gurinder Singh is Jesus Christ. You know, he's worth, if he wants an open marriage, so we have an open marriage. You know, I have my props. You know, I was Socrates and Shakespeare and Einstein and Tesla. And I was married 6 times to U.S. presidents. And you know, so Jesus Christ trained me to be his wife. So I once worked a Rockefeller flight. Nelson Rockefeller was running for vice president of the United States. When the he chartered an American Airlines plane. When the charter ended, I saw him. We all lined up, the crew lined up. And he was going to shake our hands. And so he said to his wife, Happy, she was a new wife because his old wife was in a mental institution, and he divorced her, and he married this woman named Happy. Her nickname was Happy. So he told her, now shake hands and say thank you to the girls, meaning the airline stewardesses. And she shook hands, and she said, you know, she said thank you. So that's what Gurinder Singh has done. He has My Fair Lady. Did you see My Fair Lady with Audrey Hepburn, where Professor Higgins takes this lady, a lower class lady, and makes her into a high class lady. It's a very fun movie. I like the movie. And so Gurinder Singh has taken the Stevie Wonder energy in me and raised it to the level of my props, the level of my achievements in past lives by educating me, by telling me, by showing me rather, in automatic writing who I've been, because I didn't have any self-esteem between my mother telling me she didn't want me, had tried to kill me, and Stevie Wonder taking my ability to be intelligent and see evil when evil exists. I didn't have any self-esteem, any self-confidence. So that's changed because I'm having fun realizing all the fun things I've done and how much I've helped this nation exist. I stopped becoming president. You see, what happened was my high-mindedness met George Washington's high-mindedness, and we became husband and wife. Then John Adams' high-mindedness met my high-mindedness in got a new body, you see. And so we became husband and wife like that, you see. I want to help the country, they want to help the country. So our desires match, and so we join together and help the country. That's how life works. Your energy meets matching energy. And you don't necessarily have to have the same desires. You can even have opposing desires. But if they're having to do with the same topic and you have emotion attached to it, then you're still compatible. You still unite. So that's how that works. Which it took me a long time to learn that. But I learned it in this automatic writing that I do. So, what else? Okay, so basically what happened was Edwin hooked up with Stevie Wonder and, because he had my energy, and his energy matched Steve's. Because when Edwin started getting carried away because people were responding to the album, what it is, then he started neglecting me and the children. He said, don't forget where you came from. He forgot where he came from. He forgot that I was his partner and, was half his success. He forgot that. And Steve asked me years later on the telephone, he said, how come Birdsong never created another What It Is? And I said, because he fired the people who helped him create the first What It Is. I don't know if Steve got it, but when Edwin, shortly before he died, I said to him, you want to write a Broadway musical with me? And so he said, no, I have grandchildren. I have something to do. But he couldn't have sex anymore. Else he had a stroke. It was such a strain on his body. And he couldn't, the final straw that broke the camel's back was when he couldn't drive anymore. He didn't pass the driving test. So his grandkids were not enough. Any great-grandkids, he pointed out to me, was not enough to keep his will to live alive. So he went on and died. And he told me he wanted to, because I've spoken to him since he's been on the other side. And he said he wanted to get into Robin's womb and be reborn to her. Which makes sense because Steve stopped talking to him. And that had to do with him losing his will to live too. Because being friends with Steve made Edwin feel important, you see. So he lost his woman, Platinum P was her name. And she had cancer. She ate herself alive. And then He lost Steve because when I moved into the townhouse and Steve got mad because Yolanda, his baby's mama, wanted me out. And I'm thinking to myself, now look here, I made this man a superstar. This man sang for the Queen of England, and I made him a superstar, and I can't stay here and get my business together so I can make a life for myself after I've given my life to my husbands and my children. I wanted something for myself, and what I wanted to do was to help black people see, to stop being the low information group and become as informed as the rest of the population, mainstream, inclusive, and marginalized. See, that was the business. And I said to Edwin, maybe Steve would like to join me, and this could be his legacy. He could help black people. He had no interest. She said, Edwin said, well, he give a Christmas party every year. I said, what are you talking about? I'm talking about making people able to become prosperous and happy. I'm not talking all the time, not one day a year. I mean, I love Christmas. Christmas is very important. But in addition to that, you should be able to live prosperous on the other days of the year, So I was talking about raising the consciousness fully, till they realize they have power. But I didn't know they were cursed. They were the cursed population. I didn't know that then. But now that they're not cursed, I still have the Mainstream Includes program to help them. So that's good news. Okay, I'm going to end the video for now, and I'll talk to you somehow later.